constructions. I'm not going to lie, parallel lines is kind of rough. So the other two aren't bad though, but this one is very different, very difficult. So you're going to have to practice this one a lot. Okay, so I'll kind of run you through it just like I did the other day, just like I did on Friday. So I'm going to run you through the three things, and then I'm going to do them as well on my own so that you can just see. So you can rewind and replay it all you want. So what we want to do with this is we want to make a parallel line to this line that goes through R. So we want another line that goes through R that's perfectly parallel to this. Okay, so if we're going to do that, the first thing you need to do is you just need to, this is what your problem will look like when you draw it on the paper. And what you're going to do is you're going to start and you're just going to connect these. So I'm going to start and I'm going to connect the line with the dot. Doesn't matter the angle. So you just connect your dot with anywhere on this line. I wouldn't make it vertical just because it gets a little, it's more difficult there. So just at an angle, connect your dot anywhere on that parallel line down there. Okay, so next thing you want to do is you want to measure, and you want to measure just like we did before. You want to measure from this intersection more than halfway to your point R. So anywhere, somewhere past around here. So you just want to measure more than halfway and make this arc. The next thing you're going to do is move the needle up to here and do the exact same arc. Now, what I want to say about this arc is make sure you make this one a little extra long because it needs to go, you're going to be making an X on this part. So make sure that it comes down far. You can't go too far. If you make the whole circle, that's fine. But make sure that you go at least past this line. Okay, so you want to make the arc come down a little bit. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to measure from this intersection to this intersection. So you're going to take your finger, your pencil, you're going to measure how long it is. And then what you want to do is you want to come up here with your needle with that measurement, and you're going to make a little X right here. That's your last step. Then you can just connect your dot and your intersection. And now this line is parallel to this line. When you make parallel lines, sometimes they have little triangles on them. Sometimes they put these little arrows where they look like triangles. Okay, so that will give you a set of parallel lines. I know that one's tough, so you're going to have to practice that one a lot. That's the hardest one. Next, congruent angles. What's going to happen is you're going to start with an angle. So just make any angle. This would be the problem. So this would be on your paper. What you want to do is copy the exact angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by making a dot and a ray. So because you're just going to have a dot and a ray, we just need to figure out the other one. The other ray is the important one. So you're going to start, you're going to make a dot, you're going to make a ray. It doesn't matter how long your ray is because remember these go on forever. So you just make a dot, make a ray. So nothing with the compass yet. The next thing you're going to do is you're just going to measure whatever you want. So start with your compass right here, and you're going to measure it. Doesn't matter. So anywhere you want on that angle, and what you're going to do is you're going to make an arc. So you're going to make like a half a circle, and then do the exact same half a circle from the dot that you made. Okay, so from there, the next thing we're going to do is you're going to want to measure how thick this is. So you're going to go from here with the needle all the way to here with the pencil so you can measure how thick it is, okay? Because we're going to do that down here. So get that measurement, see how thick it is, move it to the intersection here to make your X. Once you have your X, you just connect your dot and your point, and then we have an exact copy of the angle. Notice how they have little half circles. Sometimes they don't even have the hash mark in there. Usually it's just a half a circle. So it's an exact copy of that angle. The last one is the easiest. Angle bisector. So with an angle bisector, you're just given an angle right here. What we want to do is bisect it. Remember that bisect means we're going to cut it in half. So what you want to do is you just want to, again, measure however far you want to measure. It doesn't make a difference. So measure wherever you want, and you're going to make, usually people would make a half a circle, but you can just make the marks like that. And then only one more step. This is nice and easy. You take that exact measurement that you chose, that didn't matter, and you're going to move your needle to the intersection to make an X over here. So same measurement, move your needle, make the half of X here, move the needle to the other intersection to make your other half of an X. So if you connect your vertex with that intersection, it's going to cut the angle into 2 equal angles. So this one up here is equal to that one down there. Okay, so I will also do some examples with these ones, just like I did those first 4, just so you can see. Again, you can rewind and do whatever you want, whether you like the ones with the screens and you can just watch the steps, or you can watch me do it. It doesn't matter. Whichever way works best for you is what you need. Okay, so down here, the parallel lines, it doesn't matter about this point. There doesn't even need to be a point on there. So whether or not there's an A, it makes no difference. So again, these are what your problems will look like. So on a piece of paper, just randomly make that, just randomly make an angle. I would make it bigger. It's a little easier to do when it's a little bigger. Okay, so where we're going to start is you will start with just making a line. So you want to make a line that's a bit diagonal, and we need it to go through the dot and through the parallel line. Okay, make it a little extra long. We don't know how long we're going to need. So that's where you're going to start. The next thing you want to do is you get to measure however, let me switch it. You get to measure however far you want. Just make sure it's more than halfway. So what I got's fine. Okay, so however far you want, as long as it's a little bit more than halfway. So between halfway and the dot is where you want it to be. So I'm going to make my half a circle there. Take the exact same measurement and do the exact same thing from this intersection with B. Okay, remembering to make it a little extra, make sure it goes down because it's got to at least go past this dot right here. Okay, from there, what I want to do is I want to measure how wide that is. So for mine, there we go. So you want to measure from intersection to intersection to see how thick it is. All right, then I'm going to take that measurement, go to this intersection right here, right there, and then I'm going to make my little X. Okay, so that's all I really need. The last step I need is I need to make my line. So I'm going to make a line that goes through. Why is that wiggly? I don't know what's going on. There we go. Okay, so I need to make a line that goes through the dot and through my point, which mine isn't. There we go. So mine isn't exactly accurate because I made my dot too big. Okay, but this is what they will look like. So you have your arrows. Sometimes they either look like that or they'll be colored in like a triangle. Okay, either way, that shows those 2 lines are parallel. All right, and then the other 2, you're going to copy the angle and then we're going to bisect this angle. So what I want to do to make a copy of the angle is I want to start here. I can't get it. There we go. And then I want to measure whatever I want. So however far you want, it doesn't matter. Okay. I also want to make my own line. So I'm just going to make my own line to start because I'm going to make a line and a dot because I'm just copying this angle right here. So I need my line and I need a vertex. Okay. So now what you're going to do is like I said, you're going to measure as far as you want. It doesn't matter. And you're going to make a half a circle there. And you're going to make the exact half a circle off of your dot. So same half a circle off my dot. Okay. The last thing I need to do is I need to measure the thickness of that. So in other words, I'm going to go from this intersection and I'm going to measure the thickness to that intersection. Okay. So once I have that thickness, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go right from that intersection right there. And I'm going to make a cross. So you're going to run into a fact sometimes where you didn't go far enough. Okay. So if you don't go far enough, like me, then you need to come back up here and you need to go back to step 1. So my step 1 was making that and I didn't make mine far enough. So I had to go a little bit farther. Okay, So sometimes you're going to mess up. You didn't make your lines go far enough. So when in doubt, go a little further than you need to. Okay, so now finally, I'm going from here to my intersection right there. And then that is an exact copy of the angle. Okay, finally, the last one is a copy of an angle. So you could probably do the exact same angle. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to make a copy of that. Actually, I'm just going to erase this. So I'm just going to bisect this angle up here. So to bisect that angle, what I need to do is measure however far I want. So it doesn't matter how far you want this to be. You can pick however you want it. Okay? So wherever you want it to be, go ahead and make that mark. And this is the easiest one because you keep that same measurement. Move your needle to your intersection. And we're going to make half an X here. And then we're going to move the needle to the other intersection. And we're going to finish our X there. Okay? So that's it. You just need to connect them. So connect your vertex to that intersection right there. And that's going to make us two equal angles. So this angle is equal to that angle. Cuts it in half and bisects it. Okay? Again, practice, 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 especially with those parallel lines. Those seem to be the hardest and give kids the most trouble. Remember, they don't have to be perfect. It's your steps. You need to know the steps. That's what you'll be, if you see these, there'll be multiple choice and they'll ask you what the next step is. Okay, so practice them until you got them, all three of them. And then once you got all three of them, then you're good for the day. And then you might want to practice them one more time and make sure that you can get them all 7 of them, all in a row. Okay, I will keep them on your weeklies as well so that you have to practice them once in a while. And that'll help you remember as you go. Okay, all right, good luck. Have a good day.